Hello everybody! Today for Sunday Funday, we're going to see how I draw an Iron Maiden. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, Iron Maiden. Well, I always start this like you don't know what I'm doing, but you know what I'm doing. You see the picture. You're here, right? But this is explanation time, so I get to talk about why we're doing what we're doing. But anyway, the point is, I thought of the word Iron Maiden, and it's some kind of, well, I don't know if it was real. In theory, it was an old torture device, but I've seen articles and whatnot talking about how it wasn't a real thing. But the thing is, those articles were on the internet. They weren't like, peer-reviewed articles. They were, someone wrote it on the internet. That doesn't mean it's true, but I could see how it's true. You know what I mean? So, in theory, it might not be a real thing. So that's crazy, right? All these things we've heard about and whatnot and known about, they may not be real, So anyway, the point is, those words, Iron Maiden, I thought worked really good for a, over-the-top Final Fantasy type of character of a kick-butt girl that, is armed with armor and all kinds of fun stuff. It's an excuse to draw an armor person, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So that being said, I thought, yeah, let's do it. Let's draw a girl with a gigantic sword and awesome armor and see where it goes. So now that I've got that done, now that I've got that out of the way, let me draw some details real fast, because I got the pose. I think I've got it right, and now I'm going to draw some details to get the look down. And this is where it's going to get a little crazy, because I can only draw so many details into a character like this. With the limited amount of time that we have. And that's with a little too low at the face there, so with the nose there, so let me redraw that. Yeah, that looks about right. But again, like I was talking about, there's only so many details I'm going to get in anyway, so I shouldn't be too focused on little details like that. But I want to get it right. That's why I do focus on little details like that. Like I do. I say a lot of times, like, yeah, I shouldn't worry about that, or I shouldn't, we're not going to have time to do this anyway, that kind of thing. But I want it to look right. So I'm going to try. It's just, I know my restrictions. Is that the right word? I want to say like capabilities, but it's not just capabilities. I know my what I have time to do, what I have not time to do, what I have room to do, and stuff like that. That's what I know, and that's why I not limit myself, but I don't know. So again, here's the other thing is I'm not good with words. I try to entertain everybody here, but I'm not good with words. So a lot of times it ends up coming out jumbled and mishmash and jubilee G's. So what I was trying to say is I know my limitations, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that's why I can get ready for what I can and can't do, that kind of thing. There we go. I think that'll work. Now, I'm going to draw some armor, some big plating. And some gigantic details, right? And this is where we're going to get too big. This is where we're going to get over the top. And so what I did, though, is I sketched out her so I know where she's supposed to go. And then I can draw the over-the-top armor pieces over her. So I know roughly the placement where I want to put her. Okay, so also let's see. Okay, something like that. Now, let's see. Let's go ahead and draw that gigantic sword while we're here. And I want to do something big and gigantic and over the top and whatnot, but I think she is already big and over the top. So I can't, well, I mean, I can. I was going to say I can't go too big, but I can, right? There's no rule here. Because ultimately, you know what it is? This is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. But, you know, again, this is how I draw. I'm making the rules here. Alright, so what can we do for a sword? How about some kind of gigantic, almost like a feather? You know, we'll put a big nick in there like that for a feather type kind of look. You know, something like that. Don't they usually have some kind of weird little thing in them, like a circular whatnot? Who's it and insignia? You know what I mean? Some kind of strange something. And again, I'm just making this up, so you know, who knows? It's whatever we want it to be. And I'm putting like spiky armor on her too, because I figure, you know what, she's fighting. We need to give her some protection. Gosh, again, see, horrible with words. Horrible. And on this hand, I'm just going to do like a glove. She's just basically doing that, like she's in a fighting stance, right? Okay, so let me do something for her front. And the sketch is already running long, so I'm going to have to try to come up with some quick details for the inside real fast. And I think like straps and stuff like this. That'll help us to, you know, define that it's not all armor. She's got to have some movement. So that's kind of another thing that I think about too. Like when I see like these Gundam characters and Transformers and stuff like that, everybody that's like a gigantic, you know, robot part, it's got to move. It's got to, like, especially right here in the joints, you got to have room to move. But they don't. Like sometimes they're designed so they look really cool. And they're unable to move. It's impossible. But again, this is animation. This is, you know, drawings and things like that. So they can. So when I do stuff like this, sometimes I try to plan it like, well, what if it was real? Like, how would it move? So sometimes I try to give it a little bit of realism that it could move, you know, something like this. So, okay, I think that's good for a sketch. Let me erase some of these sketch lines and we'll get going. That sketch took a little longer than I wanted, but that's okay. That is all right. So we got plenty of time, right? It's lazy Sunday. We do whatever we want. So I want my Sharpie to stand out, not my pencil line. So what I'm doing now is I'm erasing the sketch lines. When I first started, I started throwing lines down really lightly, and those lines will erase really easily. As I got more confident, I pressed harder, and those lines take a little bit more effort to erase. So if I erase lightly, I'll erase the sketch lines and keep the confidence lines. And that's how you got to live your life too. Get rid of your sketchiness, keep your confidence. And I think that'll work right there. That's enough that I can see where I'm going, and my Sharpie will still stand out. So I say we welcome all the skippers and get going. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but a pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that a fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to guide me. So I'm going to start with the Sharpie pen because I can control the line width much better. And I'm going to start with the face and build my way out. Okay, so I've got her kind of turn like this a little bit, so the eyes are going to be like that. So I'm going to draw the top of the lids like this. See if I've got them roughly where I want, and that looks about right to me. So I'm going to add a little bit of retina, the color part. I'm going to add just a bit of pupil. Mine is so tiny, all I can really do is dab just a little bit and try to get that eye in there. This one's not too good, but it's not bad. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to kind of draw a little bit of like a cat eye is what I like to do, or like a pretty makeup eye, something like that. But see how it's already starting to bleed all together? That's all I can do with these Sharpies. If you can do it, go for it. I can't. So I'm just going to do like that for the bottom of the eye. Come in like that, and then I'm going to stop there because, again, it's going to start to bleed too much. So let's give her an eyebrow, something like that, a little fierce eye, like this. And then I can draw the bridge of her nose, because normally I don't draw the bridge, but as you're turning, you're starting to see the edge of it. So we can get away with drawing a little bit more. And coming down for the nose. Like this. And I want to do more, but again, Sharpies are so loud, they scream at you. They're not subtle. So I can only do so much with them before I'm doing too much. So I'm drawing the side of her face to kind of get an idea of where that's going to be. And see how this eye is just a little up too much? There we go. Maybe that'll bring it in a little bit. I want to draw the bottom part, but again, it's going to bleed. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. I keep doing that. Okay, so I'm going to draw her mouth. Draw the top of her lip. Bottom lip like this. And that's all I can really do because, again, we're at a certain angle and I've only got a certain amount of details I can put in. Oh, and I'm starting to thicken up these edges too, because when I switch over to this big Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. And so I like to try to make it consistent, even though on the face it's not as necessary. Okay, so I'm going to draw her ear. Something like that. Now I can draw a hairline. But see, also I want to color her hair. I don't want to draw every single hair. I don't want it to be black, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, I guess it could be, you know? But I want color to take care of it, is what I'm trying to say. So I've got her hair kind of pulled back. There's the center. There's kind of an edge. And I've got it kind of in a ponytail. Ooh, that shouldn't have been there, but that's okay. I'll fix that. Yeah, see, I'm already starting to draw the hairlines, and I don't want to do that. I want color to take care of it. So I just said I'm not going to, and then what do? I do it. All right, let's give her a little bit of a ponytail. Something like that. Again, see, I want to start drawing hairlines. It's so fun to draw a good flow, but I need to stop because, like I said, color is going to really make it stand out, not a hard edge like a Sharpie. So my theory about Sharpies screaming at you is they're not subtle. You can't be very subtle with the Sharpie. So I take that into account when I draw something, that if it's drawn with the Sharpie, it's there. It screams, "Hey, look at me." You know, and so that's kind of what I'm saying, is like they don't whisper. Sharpies never whisper. All right, so let's dig into this armor. So I've got her like with a big collar type thing. Here's her neck, a big collar coming up like this. We're gonna draw the other side of it like that, going back around. So something like that, right? Protecting most of her face. And that's pretty much going to be what we're doing for this entire thing. We're going to draw a whole bunch of big old huge armor protecting her. Okay? Let's smooth out some of her face. I'll give her some really hard angles here. That's alright. Okay, so I'm going to draw this thick edge. Something like this. Just to kind of accent that it's a nice thick armor. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So let's start building up. So you want to draw what's in front first, then you can draw what's behind. Like, I've already done it wrong. I've got spikes coming off her shoulder here, and they should have gone up here, but I messed that up a little bit. I'm just going to move a spike. Now, what I'm talking about though is like her forearms in the front, then the bicep, then the shoulder. So I'm going to come out here to do the forearm, and then you're going to see why in a second. So here's her wrist. And I'm going to draw some spike, because what I decided to do is spike up her armor to give it kind of a protective barrier. And so here's a perfect example right there. I wanted that spike in front of the back of the arm, so that's why I drew it first. So that's what I'm talking about when I say you want to draw what's in front first. Okay. Now, we're going to do the bicep. Just a regular old bicep, you know, big old piece like that. Now I'm going to do the shoulder piece. Now, this is what I was talking about. I can draw the shoulder like this. And so this is going behind that. So you want to make sure you do this stuff first or plan it out. And so see, I'll just add the spike like that. So you don't accidentally draw through something like I did right there. Like this spike I wanted up there, but that's okay. So same thing, the shoulder is going to be that big. So there you go. It's kind of a gigantic, spiky armor. I'm going to spike some of it up a little bit more because this Sharpie, even though it's called a Sharpie fine point, it's not as fine as the point that I want. Okay? Alright. So again, it's armor, so we're not really going to do much line-wise. I'll just do something like this. Color is going to take care of a lot of it. Let's see, there's another one back there that you can't really see. Alright, so there you go. We're drawing what's in front, and that'll give us room. Everything is pretty much behind this. Let's draw... Okay, here's what we're going to do. Let's draw the hand holding the gigantic sword. So I'm going to draw a little bit of her wrist, and then you can see her glove into her thumb. Then the fingers are wrapped around this gigantic oversized sword. And I'm doing the fingers a little bit big too, because I'm giving her like this a kind of a big armored grip, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Plating, what's the word I'm looking for? Armor. Armor. That's it. I don't know why I'm trying to find a better word. I'm giving her armor is what I'm doing. All right, so her handle, let's see. I kind of want to make sure I get this right. It looks about right. Okay, so we're just going to give her like a regular old sword handle. Like this. And I'm adding like little bumps because I'm going to do like a little bit of wrapping around it. And we'll do like this. Just a little bit of detail. There's a lot of detail in this, so I'm trying not to go too crazy. But I'm trying to give it a little bit of something fun, you know? We got to... Because armor is going to be pretty much done with color, I'm trying to give you something a little bit extra to draw to break up the negative space. Like that, okay? Alright, so for the handle, I'm just going to do like, we're going to say it's coming back here and you can't really see it back there, but you can see this part. So, the handle's going to come up like this. Simple handle, nothing too crazy. That. So we're going to do the same thing here, but this part goes back behind her, okay? So we're going to say it goes back this way. And so this is why I always say draw what's in front first, because you can stop yourself from drawing through certain parts. So, okay, so how do I want to do that? So this is going to come up here like this. This part is resting on her shoulder. So that's why I wanted to draw this first, so I can put this kind of under her shoulder, so to speak. You'll see what I'm talking about. Here, let's do this. Watch this. You're going to do the shoulder, a spike, and then the sword's going to come through. Okay, so it's kind of resting on one of her spikes, and then we're going to draw the sword. So let's do it. Let's say we're just going to come this way. Like that. So you see how it's resting on her? And then the other shoulder, I'll just show you real fast. The other edge is coming down like this. So see how it's kind of rested? That's kind of the whole idea of drawing what's in front first so you know what's going to be back behind. All right, for the sword, I just did some kind of crazy, almost like a leaf, like a cut in it like this. And again, I was just making this up. It's like, let's just do something crazy. That's, you know, the old Final Fantasy, who knows, crazy sword that's got whatever on it, you know? And I'm not really going by anything specific. I'm just kind of making up, what if it's got one of these and a little bit something like that, comes back down here like this and reconnect like this. Boom, shakalaka. All right, so again, I'm going to draw a little bit of extra detail, but not too much. Like, again, I want color to take care of it, but I want to do something, right? Just to kind of give it some, like, what is that? Like, what is this strangeness? I will do this. We'll give it like a center line. Like that, just to kind of, you know, maybe give it some kind of detail. I want to do something there, but I think I should do that with color. Same thing with this. I want to do something there, but maybe with color. How about we do like this, almost like some kind of it's got definition, but we're not exactly sure what. Then we'll do something fancy with color. Think of some way to make it stand out, right? All right, awesome. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's move back on to her. Okay, so now I'm just drawing armor. Okay, so I'm going to draw some points like this. And this is going to be basically just, we're drawing as much as we can to kind of highlight the armor. But again, a lot of it's going to be done in color. So I think we should, you know, just draw like the outer edges. And so let's do her hand here and then we'll finish this up. So I'm going to draw her armor like this. Oops, I cut into the other one. I do that a lot. I'm trying not to. And again, because I'm doing a lot of it with color, there's not going to be too much there besides the edges. So I'm going to do the bicep piece like we did there. Now, obviously there's arm in between, so I'm going to do like this. That'll give it basically an elbow, a place that she can bend. So I got to remember that those are there, but those are kind of on the other side. So I'm going to come in here and do this, and this is all you can see of them because it's on the underside, because it's on your elbow, and because it's turned. I'm showing you like you can see on the back side. They're on the back side there, so you can't really see them at this angle, is what we're saying. But we know they're there, okay? So same thing with her hand. You're looking at the side view. There's the thumb. And I'm going to put some spikes on her hand. Kind of a fighting glove type kind of thing. But all you can really see is like that because of the way her hand is the side view. So that's really going to be it as far as detail. And so that's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate that all I'm going to do is do like this big thick lines for the armor. But again, it's going to be done in color so much that's taking care of the job. Now for her waist, I did kind of like bandages and strips because I was talking about this in the sketch. Oh, you know what? No, if you want to know what I said for the sketch, you go there. That's the whole point of the explanation part. And so I don't have to say it twice, you know? All right. Okay, this is going to wrap back around. This one's going to wrap back around about to there. Okay, now because this is cloth, I want to add just a little bit of extra creases and lines to show that it's movable. Or just wrappings, you know. We'll say this is armor. Cloth. All right. Okay, so just like we did for the arms, it's pretty much just going to be big, gigantic armor for her legs. Okay, we're going to do them both. Again, this is where we got to plan on what's going to be in front. So I'm going to stop right there. Stop right there because let me show you the side of her knee, then we'll do the front of her knee. The side of her knee is going to be, going to have a big spike like this. Going to come around here. Have a big spike like this. Same thing, so we're almost going to do like 4. It's just the way that they're placed, or the way that her knee is facing. So basically it's 4 like this, but it's turned like this for her knee, and this one you can see straight on like that. So like I said, it's going to be pretty much like this going out. And you notice how I'm not connecting them? I'm trying to establish that they look, or they are welded to this knee, so they don't have a solid edge at a certain angle. That's kind of just the idea I'm going for. So same thing there. So here, and I can connect a few things now. Let me do this. What's funny is because this Sharpie is not as pointy as I want. You know, like I said, even though it says fine point, it's not pointy. It doesn't quite look like spikes. It looks like some kind of flower type thing. So there you go. Like I said, I'm trying to establish that it's welded, so it's almost part of it. So it's a little, you know, it disappears to a certain point unless you're looking at it kind of like a nose. You're not going to see a hard edge at every angle, just on certain ones. But see how it's rounded? It looks like some kind of stubby flower. I'm going to give it some points. Just to make it more menacing. All right. Oh, let me close this up. Okay, so same thing for her legs. We're just gonna bring it down. Okay, so this one's gonna come back. There's her knee. I don't know, just kind of making up something. Let's draw her foot, and we're gonna say there's a heel back there. We're gonna say this is some kind of cloth to a front foot. Then the toe, I want spiked. I want it armored. Both of them. All right. Okay, we'll take care of some detail there in a second. Let's do a front view here. And this foot's just kind of sticking out more, so we're gonna kind of come down like this. There's that metal piece I was talking about there. Okay, so down to the toes. Again, I want a little spike. On both. Again, a little bit more war, a little bit more menacing. But again, not menacing when it's not a point, you know. So let me add a little bit of scariness. A little, you know, armor look to it. Do some kind of wrapping. Oops. Something like that. There we go. Let's add some kind of detail to the front. Just some kind of special, like it's got a little divot. And again, I'm going to do more with color. I just wanted to give it like a little bit of an edge the way it's designed. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color, make it look awesome. So for Sunday Fun Day, that is an Iron Maiden. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.